Most clothing brands don't fail because they have bad products. They fail because they're trying to grow without a system. I can't tell you how many Shopify store owners I've spoken with who are constantly asking the same questions. Should I run more Facebook ads? Should I post more on Instagram? Should I hire influencers? Should I start a blog? Should I learn SEO? The problem isn't that any of those strategies are inherently bad. The problem is they're usually treated as isolated tactics instead of pieces of a much bigger growth strategy. When every week you're chasing a new marketing tactic, your business never develops momentum. Growth becomes unpredictable. Revenue fluctuates. Advertising costs continue climbing, and every month feels like you're starting over from scratch. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. I've seen apparel brands with great products struggle to generate consistent traffic, while other brands with average products continue growing month after month because they built the right foundation first. In this video, I want to show you how I think about growing a clothing brand, not from the perspective of chasing the latest marketing trend, but from building a business that becomes easier to grow over time. And if you'd like a professional review of your own Shopify store, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. I'll personally review your store and identify some of the biggest SEO and growth opportunities specific to your business. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions I see is that marketing is what grows a clothing brand. It isn't. Marketing simply amplifies what's already there. If your positioning is unclear, if your website creates friction, if customers don't understand why they should buy from you, more traffic simply exposes those problems faster. That's why I always encourage business owners to think about growth as a complete system rather than individual marketing channels. For me, there are 5 pillars that work together: your products, your positioning, your website, your marketing, and your organic visibility through search. When one of those pillars is weak, the entire business becomes harder to scale. Let's start with positioning. Many clothing brands try to sell to everyone. That's usually where the problems begin. If everyone is your customer, no one really feels like you're speaking directly to them. The strongest brands I've worked with have a very clear understanding of exactly who they're trying to attract. They understand their customers' lifestyle, their problems, the language they use, the products they search for, the questions they ask before buying. Once you know that customer deeply, every other marketing decision becomes easier. Your website becomes clearer, your content becomes more relevant, your SEO becomes more focused, your advertising becomes more efficient. Everything starts working together. Now let's talk about something I believe doesn't get nearly enough attention: your website itself. Many business owners believe traffic is their biggest challenge. Sometimes that's true, but many times the website simply isn't prepared for the traffic it's already getting. I've reviewed stores with beautiful products that make it surprisingly difficult for customers to shop. Navigation feels confusing, collections aren't organized logically, product categories overlap, internal links are missing, important pages aren't connected. Google struggles to understand the site. Visitors struggle too. This is where good Shopify SEO starts. Not with keywords, with structure. When your collections are organized around how people actually search, Google has a much easier time understanding your store. Collection pages often target broader search terms with higher search volume than individual product pages. When those pages are properly optimized, they become some of the strongest long-term traffic assets inside your business because they closely match buyer intent. That's why I spend so much time improving collection architecture before worrying about publishing dozens of blog articles. Which brings me to another misconception. Many people believe SEO simply means writing more content. I don't. Content absolutely matters, but content without strategy rarely produces meaningful business growth. I've seen stores publish hundreds of blog posts that generate traffic but very few sales. Why? Because they were targeting informational keywords instead of commercial intent. There's a big difference between someone searching for fashion trends and someone searching for the exact type of clothing they're ready to purchase. Traffic by itself isn't the goal. Qualified traffic is. That's a distinction many businesses completely overlook. Every SEO decision should eventually support customer acquisition. That means researching how potential customers actually search. Understanding search intent, identifying commercial opportunities, building content that naturally supports your products, creating internal links that guide both Google and customers through your store. Over time, this creates topical authority. Instead of Google seeing random, disconnected pages, it begins recognizing your store as an authority within a specific niche. And that's when organic growth starts compounding. One of the apparel brands I've worked with illustrates this perfectly. When I first became involved, the store was averaging roughly 23 to 28 organic clicks per day. There wasn't one magical fix. There wasn't one viral blog post. There wasn't one secret SEO trick. Instead, we consistently improved the site's structure, optimized collection pages, strengthened internal linking, expanded topical authority, focused on buyer intent, used Google Search Console to guide our decisions. Month after month, those improvements compounded. Today, that same store is approaching 600 organic clicks every day. That didn't happen because of luck. It happened because every improvement supported a long-term strategy. If you'd like me to identify similar opportunities inside your own Shopify store, don't forget you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment using the link below. I'll personally review your store and point out areas that could have the biggest impact. Now, let's talk about paid advertising. I want to be very clear. I'm not against paid ads. In fact, I think they're incredibly valuable. But I also believe many clothing brands become overly dependent on them. Paid advertising is fantastic for generating immediate visibility. The challenge is that every click has a cost. The moment your budget stops, the traffic often disappears. Organic traffic works differently. When a page ranks well, it can continue attracting qualified visitors for months or even years with ongoing maintenance and improvements. That's why I don't see SEO and paid advertising as competitors. I see them as partners. Paid ads generate short-term momentum. SEO builds long-term stability. Together, they create a much healthier customer acquisition strategy. Another mistake I frequently see is ignoring Google Search Console. This is one of the most valuable free tools available to Shopify store owners. It tells you exactly how customers are already finding your store, which pages are gaining impressions, which keywords are moving upward, where opportunities exist. Instead of guessing what Google wants, Search Console provides actual data, and data almost always beats assumptions. As your store grows, your decisions should become increasingly driven by evidence instead of opinions. That's one of the biggest differences between experienced e-commerce operators and beginners. Experienced operators measure, they test, they refine, they improve. They don't constantly chase shortcuts. So if you're wondering how to grow a clothing brand, here's what I'd focus on first. Understand exactly who your ideal customer is. Organize your Shopify store around how those customers search. Build strong collection pages, strengthen your internal linking, create content that supports buyer intent. Study your Search Console data every month. Think about long-term customer acquisition instead of quick wins. And remember that SEO isn't simply about rankings. It's about making your business easier for both Google and customers to understand. When that happens consistently, organic growth becomes much more predictable. I hope this gave you a different perspective on growing a clothing brand, not by chasing every new marketing tactic, but by building a stronger business underneath your marketing. And if you'd like personalized guidance identifying the biggest SEO and growth opportunities inside your own Shopify store, I've included a link below where you can schedule a free Shopify organic growth assessment. I'd be happy to take a look at your business and share where I believe the greatest opportunities exist. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more videos on Shopify SEO, e-commerce growth, and long-term organic marketing strategies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.